Get ready to learn some more weird, bizarre, and amazing facts because here are 50 amazing facts to blow your mind. In the United States, the government can legally read any emails that you have that are over 180 days old without a warrant. The Electronic Communications Privacy Act was enacted long before everybody had email, but the government says that the law still allows them to do this. India-based Gravity Labs has found a way to use pigment from carbon soot-polluted air to make pens, oil-based paints, and spray paint. A single air ink pen contains 30 to 40 minutes of carbon emissions from a single car. As of July 2016, Apple has sold over 1 billion iPhones. NASA's robotic spacecraft Juno traveled a total distance of 1.74 billion miles to arrive on the planet Jupiter. It launched from Cape Canaveral on August 5th, 2011, and arrived on Jupiter on July 4th, 2016. In California, on July 30th, 2016, 42-year-old paratrooper Luke Aikins became the first person to jump from an airplane without a parachute or wingsuit. He jumped 25,000 feet to Earth, setting a world record for the highest jump. He landed safely in a 100 square foot net. That's about 1/3 the size of a football field. Good thing he's got some accuracy. According to a study done in 2008, smells can influence our dreams. Subjects of the study, where the scent of roses were infused when they were dreaming, gave nearly all of them pleasant dreams. However, when the air around those subjects were infused with the smell of rotten eggs while they were dreaming, they had negative dreams. There's an inn in Idaho called the Dog Bark Park Inn, where guests can stay in the world's largest beagle. You enter the body of the beagle from a second-story deck. Up another level into the head of the dog is a loft, and there's an additional sleeping space and a cozy alcove in the muzzle. In 1958, Robert Lane from New York City named his son Winner and later another son Loser. Winner ended up as a criminal with a lengthy arrest record, and his son Loser went on to prep school on a scholarship, graduated from college, and joined the New York Police Department. The crew of Apollo 15 placed a small aluminum sculpture on the moon to memorialize fallen astronauts. In 1971, that number was 14. There's also a plaque bearing their names. Squirrels have actually been known to adopt another squirrel's baby if the parent dies. There are fireworks that can be set off in daylight by using colored smoke. That dark band that you can see between the primary and secondary bows of a rainbow has a name. It's been referred to as Alexander's Band or Alexander's Dark Band after Alexander of Aphrodisias first described it in 200 AD. The Chinese giant salamander is the world's largest living amphibian and can grow up to 6 feet long, which is bigger than some of you, and can weigh as much as 110 pounds. Watermelon is made up of 92% water. It's actually an excellent choice to stay hydrated and is low in calories. It's possible for a poisonous snake, after being decapitated for hours, to bite and inject venom and still kill you. According to Stephen Beaupre, biology professor at the University of Arkansas, snakes are well known for retaining reflexes after death. For venomous snakes like cobras and rattlesnakes, biting is one of those reflexes. In the 15 and 1600s, women who were seen gossiping, riotous, or troublesome were made to wear scold's bridle, also known as branks, as punishment. Disturbingly, it was made of an iron frame that encased the head, and at the front was a bridle or bit, like a horse, that extended into the mouth and held down the tongue with a spiked plate. It literally made it impossible to speak, so it was basically a muzzle for a woman. After Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, his body was taken on a 2-week, 1,600-mile tour via train. He was accompanied by the body of his son William Wallace Lincoln, who had died of typhoid fever Vancouver at the age of only 11 and buried in the DC area of 1862. The train made a tour through 400 train stations, and viewings were arranged where his body was on display for mourners. In 2006, Michigan woman Lynn Sterling tried to sell a mummified human skeleton on eBay. eBay removed the posting because it violated their policy against selling human remains. Damn, it's hard times out here. It's possible for cats and dogs to be allergic to human dander. Dander is made up of tiny cells shed from hair, fur, or feathers, and though you mostly hear it in relation to pets, humans produce it too. The mantis shrimp can punch with the speed equal to a bullet, 50 times that of a blink of an eye. In fact, a blow from a mantis shrimp can easily break through the shell of a crab or mollusk. According to neuroscientist Glenn Jeffrey, who investigates vision at the University College London, the eye color of reindeer changes depending on the time of year. In the summer, they actually turn golden, reflecting more light through the retina, which helps them deal with the almost continuous Arctic summer daylight. In the winter, however, they turn a deep blue to help them deal with the almost continuous winter darkness. There's a signpost forest just outside of Watson Lake, Yukon. It was started in 1942 when a soldier named Carl K. Lindley was injured while working on the Alcan Highway. He was taken to the Army Air Station in Watson Lake to recuperate, and while he was there, he was homesick, so he decided to put up a sign of Danville, Illinois, his hometown. Tourists continued the tradition, and there are currently 72,000 signs from around the world. Since the first nuclear test explosion on July 16, 1945, at least 8 nations have detonated 2,054 nuclear test explosions at dozens of test sites around the world. There's something that exists called elimination communication, where instead of using diapers, the parent learns to use timing, signals, and cues to know when their baby needs to pee or poo. That sounds risky to me, just sign me up for some Pampers. Jackrabbits are actually hares, not rabbits. They can reach speeds of 40 miles per hour and jump as high as 10 feet in the air. The Ledu Wildlife Zoo in Zhongqing, China, put the people visiting the zoo in cages instead of the animals. The cages are stocked by lions and tigers, so the guests are warned to keep their fingers and hands inside the cage at all times. The unborn babies of a female sea louse actually chew their way out of the mother's insides to be born. A 63-year-old Tasmanian woman gave birth to her first baby in August of 2016, making her Australia's oldest new mother. According to a report from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention's National Center for Health Statistics, American men now weigh on average 196 pounds, 15 pounds more than 20 years ago. And women weigh 168 pounds on average, which is 16 pounds more than 20 years ago. There's a flower called the corpse flower, which is called that because it smells like putrefying and decaying flesh, which only blooms every 7 to 10 years. Thank God. According to a study done in 2012 by Japanese researcher Hiroshi Natono, looking at images of cute animals like puppies and pandas at work not only improve your mood, but also boosts your attention to detail and overall performance. Einstein actually had an illegitimate daughter that was born in 1902. In the 1990s, Saddam Hussein had the Quran transcribed by an Islamic calligrapher in his own blood. He had over 7 gallons of blood drawn over a 2-year period. The voice of Chewbacca from Star Wars was created by using bear vocalizations as well as the sound of walruses, badgers, and the howls of sick animals. The opossum is the only marsupial in North America. Walmart employs 2.3 million people around the world. Boston has poems on their sidewalks that can only be seen when it rains. They are painted with special waterproof paint that only appears when wet. At the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, white mice were fed 24 hours before the athletes were fed to protect the athletes from food poisoning. If there was a problem, the food could be traced and destroyed before being fed to the athletes. A 19-foot-long Australian alligator has a bite force of 3,700 pounds. That's the highest bite force ever recorded. On January 12, 2011, 49 out of the 50 states had snow on the ground. That's almost 71% of the country. The only state without snow was Florida. Theodore Roosevelt's mother and first wife both died on Valentine's Day of 1884. His mother died of typhoid fever, and 12 hours later, his wife died from Bright's disease and complications from giving birth to the couple's first child 2 days before. Actor Steven Seagal received a PETA Humanitarian Award in 1999 for preventing the export of baby elephants from South Africa to Japan. In 1965, 16-year-old high school student Randy Gardner stayed awake for 11 days and 24 minutes. That's 265 hours straight. He holds the record for a human intentionally staying awake without the use of stimulants. To honor Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt, Berlin gave him his own 12-foot-high piece of the Berlin Wall. It weighed nearly 3 tons. He's not gonna take that home, is he? The richest man in Hong Kong, billionaire Li Ka-shing, yes, that's his real name, dropped out of school before he turned 16. He has an estimated net worth of $20.1 billion. LSD, or acid, was legal in California up until 1966. In 1980, Detroit gave Saddam Hussein the key to the city. The Ulm Salamander has a maximum lifespan of over 100 years. South Africa's Witwatersrand Basin, which is only 2.7 square miles, has produced more gold than any other continent. About 50,000 tons over 120 years, which is nearly half the gold ever mined. There's a pub in Athlone, Ireland called Sean's Bar that has been open since 900 AD. And now you guys are just a little bit smarter. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks a lot for watching this, guys. Remember to come back on Monday and every weekday at exactly 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I'm going to have a brand new video for you. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you then.